pursuit event, raced over 10 kilometers, and it's the Gundersen start method with the best competitors from yesterday's sprint going first, but very, very tightly packed at the front of the field. Only a second separating the front two. Raphael Poiret's wife, Liv Greta, is going to be the first away. Olga Pilieva of Russia starting second, right on her shoulder. Magdalena Forsberg with 7 seconds to make up. 50 meters or so she'll be behind. A little bit of space for Forsberg. She starts another 5 seconds or so ahead of Uschi Diesel of Germany. She could be in the running here. And away they go. Liv Greta Poiret will take the lead for Norway. Russia in second place. Sweden with the World Cup leader Magdalena Forsberg. What a season she is having. Will she make it 4 pursuit races out of 4 this year? Unbeaten so far, and Forsberg certainly the one to watch out for. Diesel having a tremendous season, yet to win, but she's been very consistent right the way since we all started back in Hogfilsen before Christmas. Zubrilova of Ukraine is skiing faster than she has done all season. Anna Begali, well, she's not as fast as some of the leaders, but a very, very reliable shot, and she could be in the running for a win here. Martina Glago, she's won over this discipline before. Back in Östersund 2 seasons ago in her first World Cup season. Don't rule her out. Don't rule the world sprint champion out either. Kati Wilhelm, the quickest skier over the course yesterday. She missed 2, and that forced her from a potential win down into 8th place. Now, the 2 Russians, Shona Usova and Ishmaradova, well, what a season, what a career they've had, starting 10 and 11. And if either of them shoot 20 out of 20, it could be their day. Well, a brilliant sprint race yesterday with absolutely excellent shooting results. 7 clear out of the field of 93. 31 shooting just 1 penalty. That's around 42.5% of the field with 1 penalty or less. And compare that to the men. They had 26% of their field shooting 1 penalty or less. So the women's shooting yesterday, superb on all counts. So the first 2 leaders, and our first sample of this course here. A little bit colder today, and the snow firmer, a little bit faster, so we're expecting a fast time. That in fact doesn't suit the stronger skiers because it enables the others to make the ground. Magdalena Forsberg not really in any hurry to close down the gap on the 2 leaders. Uschi Diesel, she's working hard. She was 5 seconds behind Forsberg. She's closed that gap slightly, 2 seconds taken off. Now, Martina Glago, we wouldn't expect to see her closing the gap on the skiing, but we would expect to see her shoot faster. So watch out for Glago's time in and out of the range. Incidentally, the fastest shot yesterday was Florence Bavrel of France, who finished down in 12th place. 27 and 25 seconds, the time for her prone and standing shoot. A total time of 52 seconds. Now, if you compare that to the likes of Pilieva, Forsberg, Diesel, who are all up ahead of her, they were taking 106, 107 for the 2 shoots. And you can see a margin 14, 15 seconds advantage that Bavrel was gaining over them. Glago also quick yesterday. Liv Greta Poiret, the second fastest, with a total time of 54 seconds. So should they shoot the same today, then we would expect Poiret to open up a little bit of a lead after this first prone shoot, providing, of course, that they all hit the 5 targets. Remember that 4 shoots in this pursuit event, the first 2 in the prone position, and then the final 2 in the standing, and that's where it will all take shape. Elena Zubrilova with extraordinarily long sticks once again, partly because she has a slightly hunched posture on the steep uphills. Now some very fast sections here. They've got one downhill section where they're expected to attain speeds of around 65 kilometers an hour, and at the bottom of the hill a sharp 90-degree turn, and that was certainly claiming a few victims in practice. But remember, most of the weaker nations, should I say, already eradicated from this event. Only the top 60 from the sprint event getting through into the pursuit. Bad news, I'm afraid, for the two British competitors in the sprint yesterday. Emma Fowler down in 79th position with 2 misses in the standing, so around 50 seconds added to her time. If I take that off her total time and assume that she shot clear, she still would have been 4:20 behind, which would have had her in about 66th, 67th position. So Emma not only needing to shoot the full quota of targets, but also needing to gain 30-40 seconds over the 7.5 kilometre distance if she's to qualify for one of these pursuit events. Vicky Gray another few places further down the field in 85th position. Now 1.9 meters per second was the wind reading at the start of the event, and it does look as though those telltale flags are a little more horizontal than they were half an hour ago, so maybe the wind picking up a fraction. The results from this first shoot will give us some idea of whether that is the case or not. No anemometer at hand to give you a precise reading. Now, massive crowds here for today's events, the men's sprint as well, and we can expect even bigger crowds tomorrow. So 4 of the best female biathletes in the world lining up. In fact, 5 of them: Poiré, Pilieva, Forsberg, Diesel, Zubrilova. The race organisers couldn't have asked for anything better. Poiré the quicker shot, and she's the first to claim one of the targets. 2 out of 2 for the Norwegian. Diesel has got 2 out of 2, but just taking her time. Forsberg taking her time to settle, but now rattling through the targets, and a chance for Forsberg to take the lead because Poiré has missed one, and Pilieva has missed as well. Diesel, Forsberg, Zubrilova all clear, and the 2 leaders will find themselves with 20-25 seconds to make up. Well, we'll watch the margin, because Pilieva coming out of the range at exactly the same time as Magdalena Forsberg, and we'll find out precisely how long the penalty loop is taking today. As the leader at the start of the race, and Poiré going out 18.7. That's a very quick time. Pilieva, that's an accurate time, 23.4. That's about standard. The men taking around 21, 22 seconds. The women between 23 and 25. Pilieva, one of the quicker skiers, and she is out 23 seconds now for her to make up. Martina Glago, as expected, is clear. Kati Wilhelm, the former cross-country skier, she's had problems. 2 targets missed, an extra 50 seconds approximately to her time. And is that her out of the running? I don't think so quite yet, but she can't afford another miss. Albina Akhятova has gone clear. Shana Usova has gone clear. Ishmaratova, she's rattling through the targets, but she's lost time to her teammate Shana Usova. Gumagid Andreasen, one of the best shots in the Norwegian team. She has gone clear. The standard of shooting in the prone, absolutely superb over the last 2 weeks. Kuklova, the Olympic champion in the individual event, is clear. In the sprint event, I beg her pardon. Now, here's a shot of Poiré, who missed 1 shot. And there it is. Dropping it, low right, maybe a slight snatch on the trigger, lapse of concentration on that 5th and final target. So the leading 3 sticking together. Interesting to see that Zubrilova is dropping off the pace a little bit. Forsberg pushing hard. She should be able to out-ski Diesel over the full 10 kilometres. But I would have expected Zubrilova to be there as well. Very quick yesterday, just 4 or 5 seconds than Forsberg over the 7.5 kilometre distance. But it looks as though Zubrilova happy to settle there in 3rd. Diesel looks to be working hard, never looks particularly comfortable on the skis, but she is a powerhouse, and she covers the ground as quick as anyone. But you can see how she's I was going to say she's not standing on the flat ski. The angle of her lower leg giving the impression, but the ski does seem to be reasonably flat on the ground. Titania Vodopianova of Ukraine with a slight stick problem. So nothing much will change until they come into the range for the second time. This trio have given themselves a little bit of breathing space. We've got Pilieva and the Norwegian Livgreda Poiré chasing, and it's Poiré who is closest at the moment. 18 seconds was the margin as she left the penalty loop. We'll see if she's made any impression on the leaders. She can certainly out-ski all three in front of her when she's on her best form, but Poiré certainly focusing on the Olympic Games, and that is when we will see her best. She is, of course, the pursuit world champion. Picture of concentration as some of the later starters clear their targets, and a massive Germans working their way through the chasing group. Sylvie Bacard, she needs a good race. She's looking for Olympic qualification today, up against Christelle Gros, who's started down in 49th position. So Sylvie Bacard, if she can keep herself in the top 20, then maybe she is the one who's heading west to the Olympics. Forsberg doing all the donkey work at the moment, but supremely confident. She really has a tremendous record. Her shooting so far this year, 93% in the prone. That has just improved slightly with another 5 out of 5. 85% in the standing. And that really is what has brought her so much success over the last few months. 39 World Cup wins already. Uschi Diesel in second place with 21. And so far this season, from the 8 races the Women's Tour have had, only 3 winners. Kati Halanti of Finland, who got a surprise victory in Orsbly in the sprint event there, partly thanks to Forsberg's mistake of shooting the wrong target. And then, of course, yesterday, Livgreda Poiré in the women's pursuit. And I should point out that Poiré has won the double here before, so don't rule her out of things quite yet. She's down in 4th position. She won the sprint here in 99 and then went on to win the pursuit the following day. So she's trying to repeat that achievement. Still a long way to go. 15 targets still to be hit. 5 of those in the prone position, 10 in the standing. Forsberg nearest the screen. Diesel in the middle, and Zubrilova on the far side. Forsberg will be the last to hit, but she'll rattle through the targets slightly quicker than both Zubrilova and Diesel. But there's the first miss for the Swede, and Uschi Diesel with a chance to bring the crowd to the feet. No, she's missed one. So 1 apiece for the 3 leaders, and Poiré and Pilieva a chance to get themselves back into the lead. So who is going to hold their nerve best? Poiré is not. Pilieva then with a chance to go to the front. 8 times on the podium for the Russian. Never won a Biathlon World Cup. Certainly it would be a popular victory. And down it goes. So Pilieva is back in contention. Diesel is still going to come out first, I think. Yes, she is. Pilieva just in the background. 3 has suddenly become 4, but Poiré still with a lot of work to do. She's on the penalty loop again and is going to find herself at least 20 seconds behind. Glago moving nicely up through the order. On the range again, we would expect Glago to hit all 4 targets. Pilieva looking very calm, just settling in behind. Nice low position. And alpine skiing skills needed here in Oberhof, as well as the grueling cross-country. And I'm certainly in favour of setting up really technical downhill courses. This isn't all about uphill graft and sweat. the skills also vitally important. Pileeva looking comfortable in fourth, just behind Zabrilova, who's not looking quite as good, as fluent, as light on the skis as she did yesterday. Maybe slightly fatigued after the effort she put in yesterday. A fast ski from Zabrilova. One missed target on her standing shoot, costing her victory. Same for Magdalena Forsberg, of course, who hit 9 out of 10, missing one in the standing. Poiré now 25 seconds behind. Martina Glago, who started 7th, up into 6th. She started 46 seconds behind, so she hasn't gained any time. So perhaps if you take 3 of the leading 4, if you take in fact the leading 3 women in this group here with Forsberg, Diesel, Zabrilova, they have 74 World Cup wins between them. And that doesn't leave that many World Cup biathlon races that have ever taken place left. It really is an astounding domination that these 3 women have had. And over the last 5 years, they must have won at least 95% of the events between them. Forsberg with a staggering tally of 39, as I mentioned, looking for her 40th win here today. 76 times she's been on the podium. Well, will she do it today? Unbeaten in the pursuit event. Forsberg's got 17 pursuit victories to her name. Zabrilova has 7. Uschi Diesel only 2. Just taking slightly longer to adapt to the faster shooting techniques. She's been around longer than any of the others in the leading group. And Diesel was brought up with the philosophy of take your time and make sure of the targets. That has all changed now. It's now get in and get out as quick as you can. And she's taking 33 to 35 seconds for her prone and standing shoots respectively. Those who've adapted well, the likes of Bavrel, Poiré, Popova, Glago, now taking 26, 27 seconds for the prone, 24, 25 for the standing. Well, here is Uschi Diesel. This is her 2nd prone shoot. The pursuit event now part of the Olympic calendar, and that's a welcome inclusion. In the past, they've just had the individual and the sprint and the relay event, of course. Now they have the pursuit added to that. So whoever wins the Olympic gold in the sprint with an excellent opportunity to double up and come home with 2 gold medals hanging around their neck. But they're going to have to open up a bigger gap than Poiré achieved yesterday in the sprint. Just 1 second separating Pileeva and Poiré. Already the slower skiers being lapped. And this looks like the Dutch skier, Elspeth Stroud. Yes, it is. Did exceptionally well to get into the top 60. Skiing well, missed 2 targets, but still finished only 3.5 minutes behind, and would have found herself in the top 30 if she'd hit all 10. So Stroud certainly has improved her performances over recent months. Also qualifying for a run in today's pursuit event, Ulok Slettermark of Greenland. That's the first time she's achieved that. Had a baby just 2.5 months before the season started, and travelling on the tour with her husband now. And a very strong cross-country skier is Slettermark, but hasn't quite come to terms with the shooting. Now, round 3 of the shooting, the first in the standing position. Forsberg with the best record so far this season in the standing, but that counts for nothing in pressure situations like this. They will all be very aware of what their rivals are doing and how many targets have gone down. Diesel or Zabrilova should strike first. It's Zabrilova and it's gone wide. Pilieva has missed. Forsberg's missed. A chance for the Germans with Diesel again, but once again she's affected by the others. 2 out of 2 misses now for Zabrilova. The tension building. Forsberg has slowed the pace. She wants to make sure if she clears the remaining 2, then Forsberg could find herself with a lead. No, she's missed, but having mechanical problems. And now a chance for Pilieva. Well, it's all changed. No one hitting even 4 out of 5. And 2 loops. 3 loops for Forsberg, 3 for Pilieva, 2 for Diesel, 2 for Zabrilova, and Poiré with a real opportunity to get back in the lead where she started this race. But no. Now, having said the wind wasn't strong enough to affect the standing, the pressure certainly playing a part, but the wind has picked up, and if it's unsettling their standing position, then that will play a big part. So Poiré has closed the gap slightly. She was 25 seconds behind. She's lost a little time to Zabrilova and Pilieva, who are out and clear now. But it's Zabrilova with the lead after the 3rd shoot. Still 1 to go. Forsberg has really left herself with a tall order. 3 loops to be completed, and any of this chasing group could get back into contention. Glago, Shona Usova still there. Kuklova is still there. Martina Zellner having a better race. Bavrel has gone clear, and France have moved up into the top 6 or 7 positions. That's very encouraging for Bavrel. Andresen of Norway, solid as ever. 5 out of 5 in the first stand. Poiré 26 seconds down. Pilieva 37. A Shatova now just 39. Bavrel ahead of Forsberg 42. Forsberg 43 seconds down, just ahead of Anna Begali, who's 47, and Andresen 48. So the gap between the first 9 positions is now smaller than it was at the start of this race. Well, that is what the pressure does. The first 10 all within a minute of each other. Now, the chasing group have absolutely no option but to push and push and push. And Forsberg, I wonder whether she's given up the ghost on this one. 3 out of 3 pursuit races to her so far this year. Diesel missing a very, very good opportunity. And as I suggested, they're all very aware of how the others are getting on and failing to focus. Let's have a look at Uschi Diesel's target. The first one absolutely plumb central. That would have hit a prone target. And there's the first miss. Pulled high right. Well, here is the chasing group now, and it's been, well, it was made up by 5 or 6, but all the names have changed. There's Forsberg in the middle, not looking as dominant and as strong as she did earlier on in the season. Andresen of Norway in the red suit, just going through, sandwiched between Russia and France. And is this Kari Wilhelm coming through the groupings as well? Looks a familiar style. It's Martina Zellner, in fact, who's making up the ground, and the blue hat of Martina Glago behind her. And that is a very, very cruel hill. They make it look easy, but it's very, very tough indeed. The 4 runners going round there just before the start of this race, and many of them having to stop and take a breather. But in the race, there's no chance of that. Now, things starting to shape up at the front of this field. Zabrilova has built herself a little bit of a lead. 26 seconds she had over Livgreta Poiré. Uschi Diesel is closing that to just 6.4. So either of those two, if they go clear, are certainly to finish on the podium. Now, this is the first bad shoot we've seen from Magdalena Forsberg all season. And that's what she thinks of that. Well, it's got to happen sometime. There goes Poiré. She's lost 4 seconds to the leading group. Zabrilova has turned it on, maybe sensing her first victory. Akhятova now 37, Pilieva 38. She's gaining a little bit of ground. This chasing group doing well. Forsberg 40 seconds. She was 43, so she's clawing it back slowly, but running out of time. Anna Begali is staying with them, and Florence Bavrel of France is also in that margin between 40 and 45 seconds off Elena Zabrilova, the leader. Now, Zabrilova, having looked heavy and tired at the start of the race, now looking very much more relaxed and fluent. Diesel's working desperately hard to try and close down that 6-second margin between herself and the Ukrainian. Poiré in a little bit of space for herself. Now, that could be a huge advantage for Poiré, but there's the chasing group there, almost going to close that gap down before the fourth and final shoot. Now, one thing they're not allowed to do is to take a shooting position at the other end of the range and move away from all the action, the drama, the tension. They have to line up in the order that they come into the range. So Zabrilova will be in lane 1. Diesel, if she stays in second, will be in lane 2. And Poiré is likely to take lane 3. But they are only just going to settle before this train of the chasing group come in for that final shoot. So Zabrilova starting to settle, and she's kept the pace up. Diesel has let Zabrilova draw away before the shoot. Diesel obviously sensing that 5 hits is the way to win this one, rather than getting in and out as quick as possible. Zabrilova, remember, with 7 wins in this discipline already. The first one definitely the hardest, but once you've won one, you believe it is possible. 5 with 5 for Zabrilova to take this. Diesel, I don't think she'll be able to catch the Ukrainian over the final 2-kilometer loop, but neither of them easy, taking exceptionally long time to get the first round away, and 1 miss apiece. Maybe that's still good enough to stay ahead of Poiré, settling in lane 3 now. So Zabrilova with 2 misses, Diesel with 2, and Poiré with the best chance. Forsberg still hasn't lost this one. Pilieva is still there. She's been there right the way throughout this race. Akhятova is there as well. Begali for Russia. Now, Diesel missed 3. The game is on, but remember, Zabrilova is on the loop with only 2 penalties to ski. Should anyone go clear? Poiré only 1 more to go. Oh, this is good stuff. Norway looking for the second successive victory, but she's waiting, and she's missed. Forsberg's hit 5, and Forsberg's got to be on the heels of Zabrilova. Oh, what a turnaround. 3 misses on the first standing. She's gone clear on the second and has given herself a chance of sealing her 7th victory of the season. Is Zabrilova or Forsberg out first? It's Forsberg with the lead, and Zabrilova can't be far behind. Well, what incredible nerve. How dare I suggest that she's given up all idea of winning this one, and she's smiling as she comes down. I don't think she can believe that. She's got 2 kilometers to go, and you wouldn't put a lot of money on anyone chasing her down. 10 seconds to be made up by Zabrilova. Bavrel has done exceptionally well, up into 3rd position, 15 seconds down. Poiré 23 seconds down. Certainly she will start the chase for a podium position. Pilieva, well, it's not going to be her day now. 26 seconds behind, and it's another top 10 race. She really has been on such good form this year, lying in 2nd in the World Cup overall, but that elusive victory still denied her. There goes Diesel. She had a chance. She's only got herself to blame. 3 misses on the second standing. And having sung the praises of the women's tour as far as their shooting record is concerned this year, we've never seen it quite like it has been today. And the deterioration all due to the fact that there is so much pressure in this pursuit event. Perhaps even more so than in the mass start, where an order tends to be established. In the pursuit, those who are in the chasing group have that much less pressure. Well, there's the record. 4 misses for Forsberg today. Way below her 90% record, but she's still got a lead. It was 10 seconds at the last count, and Zabrilova is struggling to stay with her. 15, 16.3. She's going backwards. Well, Zabrilova accelerated on the 4th loop and doesn't look to have too much left on this final one. And Poiret is chasing her down, just going ahead of Bavrel of France, who's in 4th now. Pilieva still not given up hope of a podium finish. Akhятova, wearing 9, started in 9th, has worked her way up to 6th, but she's only 34 seconds behind, having started 58. So a great gain for Akhятova. Andreasen of Norway, she started 1:20 behind, has made up over 35 seconds. Uschi Diesel, a disappointing run for her. Well, Diesel had so many opportunities, but we've seen over the last 4 or 5 seasons that when the pressure is really on, the German women don't seem to cope with it quite as well as certainly the likes of Magdalena Forsberg and some of the Norwegians. 41 not part of the race today. So Forsberg going through, and 1 more hill to go before she comes in for her next win on the World Cup Tour. And of course a few more euros in the bank for Magdalena, and another 50 points on the World Cup Tour. That will extend her lead over the current 2nd place, Olga Pilieva. Forsberg, 343 points already. How's the chase for 3rd and 4th place? Well, still 4 seconds between Poiret and Pilieva, but she's back into the stadium and running out of time. I don't think it's going to change. Akhятova is chasing hard for 4th, so Pilieva isn't safe in that position. But Forsberg absolutely cruising away now. The tempo is back. Looked a little sluggish on the 4th loop, having just missed 3 in the first of the standing shoots. But with a clear shoot on the final stand, Forsberg is back to her old self. Well, the record just gets better and better. Who would have believed it? 4 pursuit races this season, and Magdalena Forsberg has won every single one of them. It's her 7th win of the year out of 9 races, her 40th World Cup victory in the space of 6 seasons. It's an astounding record that will never, ever be matched. And you just have to salute this woman. We wonder how long this run of success can go on. 32:30, the winning time. Forsberg coming back from the dead to take it on the last shoot. Zabrilova with a brilliant opportunity to win her first race of the year, gets another 2nd place, and 46 points for her troubles. 12.1 seconds the margin in the end. 3rd place is going to go to Norway. Livgreta Skjelbred, now known as Livgreta Poiret, 3rd position, 23 seconds down. She had a good opportunity but missed it on the last shoot. Pilieva, 27. It's another top 5. She's just rattling them off, but hasn't got that first win. Bavrel, she's made up good ground today. Started down the order, and the Frenchwoman will be absolutely delighted with her run today. 12th up into 5th. Akhятova gains 3 places, finishes in 6th. Uschi Diesel, well, she started only 11 seconds off the leaders and has lost over 35 seconds. Well, they've changed the number and the format of races year after year in the biathlon, and you have to say they've made the right decision. The total number of races this year, 26. They've got 3 individual, those are the long distance races, the women racing over 15 kilometers, 7 sprints, 8 pursuit races, 3 mass starts, one of them coming up over the weekend, the women racing on Sunday, and 5 relays. Well, it's a long, hard season, but we won't complain if the races go on with drama like this. Zellner coming in 9th. She was right up in contention at one stage. Martina Glago dropping off the order, finishing down in 11th, just 1 behind Zellner. Now that will be interesting because Zellner certainly hasn't secured her place in the German team for the Olympic Games, and there'll be a few hard decisions for them to make. Kathi Wilhelm, the world sprint champion, in 11th. Kuklova, the Olympic sprint champion, in 12th. They have a little bit of form to find. Katrine Apel, well, she's gained a lot of places, was right out of contention after the sprint event yesterday, but has pulled back well. 20th up the order into 15th. Vodopianova in 14th, in fact, Apel. Vodopianova in 15th. Zaitseva, that's a personal best for her, one of the new Russians on the tour, in the top 20 and picking up her first World Cup points. Anna Begali, a disappointing run, started 6th, drops down to 17th. Katja Beer of Germany in 18th. So another day's work completed and another victory notched up for Magdalena Forsberg. She'll head off to doping control before the prize-giving ceremony. She must be a familiar face in the doping room in the biathlon arenas around the world. That's 77 times now she's finished on the podium, the top 3 always being tested, and then 2 or 3 of the competitors taken at random. There you see the results, the shooting results. Look at that, 4-5, 4-5. Florence Bavrel, her gain coming from the fact that she's hit all 20 targets. She started way down the order, Bavrel, and has pulled up well. Started just looking for a name, in 12th position and 1 minute 16 behind, so she's gained 45 seconds or so. Germany still with plenty in the top 15, but yet to get a winner on the World Cup tour for the women this year. So Begali 17, Beer just ahead of Shona Usova, but it was Magdalena Forsberg of Sweden once again tying things up, and her nerve holding on the final shoot, clearing all 5 and going from 7th and to first and holding it all the way to the line. So that's just about all the action for now from Oberhof and the 4th round of the Biathlon World Cup. In the end, it's a familiar story with another victory for Sweden. Well, we've got the men's pursuit event coming up later on Eurosport. I do hope you'll join us for that. Pavel Rostovtsev of Russia will be leading the way in that